I feel like I'm reuniting with an old friend, and it feels like forever since I've done a video, even though I just checked and it's really only been like a month and a half. It really feels like such a long time. And I've been wanting to do an update video for a while now, but I'll explain why I haven't been doing many videos lately, or barely any. I think I've made like one in the past month and a half on all of my channels combined. And it's so challenging to be away. You know, it's funny because in my head it feels like it's been much longer, but really a month and a half isn't that long. I guess I just being used to posting you know, once a day on one of my channels and once a week here and once a week, at least once a week on my other channel, and just having so many different channels and producing so much content, it's odd. And I also feel like so much has happened in the past month and a half, and maybe that's why it's felt like it's been a really long time. I've received messages from a lot of people saying that they miss my videos, and I really appreciate it. And I guess that's also part of the reason that it's been feeling like a little bit of a weight on me, because I feel like I'm letting people down. I feel like I am just disconnected, really, even more so than the letdown feeling. I don't even know if I feel like I'm letting people down, because I don't think that's the reason. I guess it's just that, you know, I see everything that I do as being a connection with a community and being in touch with other people. And I think that it just feels like this overall disconnect from you. And it's kind of like when you don't talk to a good friend for a while. What's interesting about that too is I really haven't been talking to many people, at least my good friends, either. And that's kind of the big picture here, is that I'm just taking a lot of time for myself, and that's why I haven't been producing as much content. I've really been taking time to step back and just do what's best for me every single day and really work on long-term plans for my life. A lot of the content that I do on YouTube is very short-term. It's about what's ever happening that day or that week or that particular time, and then I just kind of move on from it. But I feel this desire to just really go after the big things that I want to accomplish in my life, and I didn't feel like I was really working on that or focusing on that as much. I don't remember exactly when I read it, but I read a couple books that really transformed my thinking and what I was doing. And I think it was around the time when I stopped or put the pause on these videos, was I read the book The Alchemist, I'll link to these down below, and A New Earth. And especially A New Earth really shifted things for me. The Alchemist was phenomenal. It was very inspiring and uplifting, and it's a beautiful story just to read. But A New Earth was really intense in a great way, and it just brought up so much for me about how I show up in life and what I can work on and why I'm doing things. And honestly, I want to revisit the book because it's hard for me to verbalize the specifics of what that generated. It just made me want to press the pause button and step back and evaluate and recharge and really just shift my perspective on things. And it's so important for me to be mindful with what I do publicly. I mean, it's important for me to be mindful about everything, even in my private life, but especially publicly. And honestly, I just feel like there's a massive shift happening with me and the work that I do. I'm feeling drawn to new things, and I'm feeling less interested in some other things. I feel like my brand as Eco Vegan Gal is really shifting a lot, and honestly, I don't know if I'm really that happy with how my brand is right now. I feel like there's a lot of misconceptions about me and my brand, and I want to just take it to another level. And that takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of reflection and a lot of research and a lot of trial and error. And so those are the sort of things that I've been doing a lot of reading, listening to podcasts more and more, and watching videos, and just studying business stuff like crazy. And I've also just been having a lot of conversations, been having some great meetings. I've been going to all sorts of different things. I went to a phenomenal business class at YouTube that could potentially have changed my life. It's yet to be seen, but there were a lot of really great seeds planted there that I would love to talk about more when some of them start to sprout. And I went to North Carolina for a trip, and it was really eye-opening in a lot of ways. It was also a business trip. I feel like there was some, I went to Vita Vegan Con actually because the last video posted on this channel was on May 20th. And I went to Vita Vegan Con on May 30th or 29th or something. And that was huge for me too. And it also took a lot out of me. I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I really get energetically drained from big events. And it takes me a long time. And it's really good for me to know this now, because it happened twice this year. It happened once when I went to the Natural Products Expo in March. And it took me a while to really create content after that, and same thing with Vita Vegan Con, and it took about 3 to 4 weeks for me to kind of recover, and it's crazy. I love going to these events, but I put so much out, and so they were both actually 3 days, so it's like each day of these big events equates to me needing like a week of recovery time. And that's such a phenomenal thing for me to know about myself. And that also leads me to another big thing right now. Is it's not just about tuning into myself, but it's also honoring myself and what I really want and need to be doing. And I've pushed myself a lot with YouTube, because YouTube is I just love YouTube, and it's really my favorite way to express myself, much more so than writing, a little bit more so than social media, but I really love social media as well. But YouTube it's my calling. I just love creating videos and connecting with you, and I love just everything that comes out of it. All the biggest things that have happened in my career and maybe even my life have somehow been connected to YouTube. And yet, it's so important to balance it all out. And so for me, I kind of got in my head earlier this year, and for a while, thinking like I had to always be producing, and I wanted to stay on a schedule, and I had to do this and that, and I was getting so burnt out, and I kind of hit this breaking point in May where I was just done. I forget what video it was. There were a couple out for my main channel, and I was like, this is it. I cannot do this all on my own anymore. Time-wise, they really weren't taking that much time. My average video usually would take like 30 to 45 minutes to record, and then maybe 2 hours to edit, and then time to promote it, blah, blah, blah. But really, it was a minimum of 3 hours of my time for each video, which might not seem a lot, but again, just like where events are really draining to me, videos are really draining unless they're this style where I'm just talking without editing. And so I would finish it would also take me a while to get through that whole 3-hour process, because I would need to stop and take a break. So it would end up taking me a whole day to do these videos, and I was just so exhausted. And then I was doing 7 videos a week on my What a Vegan Eats channel, and 1 video a week here, and sometimes for my other venture channel. And then on top of all the other work, it was just so exhausting. But I hit this wall with my main channel because I really want the production value to be super high. It's super, super important to me for that channel to have high production value and to really just create this this energy around it and create this look and feel and all of that to it. And that's so hard to do, especially when, you know, you're a perfectionist, you want all this stuff done. If any of you make videos, you can understand what I'm talking about here. Or if you're creative in any sense, you know, whatever we do, what we're most passionate about and what is most important to us, you know, we'll put so much into it, but that doesn't always mean that it's easy. And I just had this huge realization in the past month and a half or a couple months that I don't really want to do videos on my main channel anymore by myself. I'm just at the point where I need a team, or I don't want to do videos at all there. That's how I feel right now. It's hard because I've been trying for years to figure out a way to get a team, or at least one other person to help me with my videos, and something always gets in the way, and it's really frustrating. However, I'm getting there. I'm working towards it. I'm figuring it out, and again, that's kind of the whole point behind taking this time off, is to really just step back and figure out how I can reach those goals and really make sure that it's actually important to me, or do I just need a time off? I also think I want to do some different videos, because I was creating content recently on the main Eco Vegan Gal channel and just not being that in love with it. And not to mention just getting so fed up with negativity there. I mean, I've talked about that so many times here, and it doesn't get any easier for me seeing a thumbs down or seeing a comment. And that was one thing that I was taking away from that book, A New Earth, was why I have those emotional reactions and how really that's tied into the ego. But pain is pain, and so unless you stop doing something that causes you pain, or you learn how to manage the pain differently, in the meantime, the pain is still there and strong, and it's kind of just detrimental to keep going with it. So anyways, that's been a lot of the process there. I've been also really trying to figure out how I want to approach all of the educational offerings that I have through the business side of things. And after Vita Vegan Con, I've just been putting a lot of effort and thought and time into that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically I've been offering online classes and coaching sessions and strategy sessions for other content creators. And I love it so much. I just haven't quite found the right system for it yet. I've done a few courses. I started a podcast. I do kind of just sporadic classes and all of that, but I'm trying to find a way to bring it all together and do something more concrete. And that's just like, that takes a lot of time. I haven't even been doing it for a year yet, so it's still just been a lot of development, but it's something that I really want to put a lot of my energy into. So that's just been taking a lot, and right now that's more important than creating the other content until I kind of have that team. I haven't quite been able to figure out why it's been so hard for me to create content here and create content for the What a Vegan Eats channel. I think it's just feeling burnt out in general, and also just similar to anything else, like once you get out of a habit or a routine, it's so hard to get back into it. And even though all it takes is just doing it one day, like I am right now, it's just doing it that's the hardest part. And I have a feeling that once I put out this video, or I hope at least once I put out this video, that I'll be back in the groove. But I'm not going to make any promises, because I just don't know. I really just have to feel into it. So I'm not sure when the next video will be for this channel, but this is the channel that I've been most eager to get back into and to connect with you on. And I have received some requests, and you know who you are if you're still watching. I will definitely be, I love creating videos on this channel based on questions or, you know, personal things that you guys are going through. So send me an email. It's really the best way. I catalog everything. This is something that a lot of people don't know about me, and I wish there was a way that I could completely convey this, is that I read every single email that comes into my inbox, and I'm super organized. I have folders, I have color coding, all of that. And I really don't receive that many emails per day, and I'm not, because I've managed the junk mail and my newsletters, and it's so organized that like my inbox doesn't receive that much, but each email oftentimes feels like a lot for me. It's super hard for me to respond to emails energetically. And that's a mystery to me. I've been trying to figure out what to do about emails for years, and I don't know. In an ideal world, I would have a team of several people in my place with me or in an office helping me with all of these things I struggle with. And that's really what I'm moving towards is I need a team. I really do. I have so much that I want to accomplish, and there's all of these other things that just aren't getting done. And I want to do it all, but I can't do it all on my own. And so right now, ultimately, I just need to get my team together. So I'm actually putting together or my plan is, I have a meeting about this tomorrow, is to put up this really cool, I don't know what the word is. I don't want to call it crowdfunding, but it kind of is that. It's called Patreon, and it's this amazing platform for content creators to get their community, their biggest fans, their audience involved financially. And basically, it allows people to contribute amounts of money, whatever they want to, in exchange for more content being produced. And it's really just a way to support it. And, the fact is that money is a huge barrier. There's no reason I cannot have a team. It's just that I have worked with interns, and that hasn't quite worked out yet. I really feel like it's super important for me to pay someone and have people on like regular payroll, and have actual people in person too is super important to me, and just like have some sort of structure around that. And I just haven't had the financial resources to pay for a team yet. So I'm going to be putting together this Patreon campaign, and I'll be talking more about it in a separate video and all of that, because ultimately everything that I'm doing is for you, and if I'm not able to do it at all, it's hard to verbalize. I'll be better able to verbalize it when I do this whole campaign together. But Patreon is super cool. It's a really great way for me to offer you more, for me to do more, for me to grow things, and just to gain some momentum. Really is I just need to get some traction there and to get things moving, and then everything will kind of work on its own, and eventually I won't even need Patreon. But it's like it's like Kickstart. I was just about to say, I need a kickstart, and that's kind of the concept behind crowdfunding. So you'll hear more about that soon, but that's another thing that I've been working on. And a lot of other projects are in the work that could potentially change a lot of things. So I know it's very vague, but I promise when things are more solidified, when the sprouts are coming out of the ground, I will certainly share with you everything that's going on. Oh, well, I should say that my biggest passions lately that have been really fun and not energetically draining have been Snapchat and Periscope. Periscope's still a little tricky for me. Periscope, if you're not familiar, is live videos, and it would be very similar to this. And if that's why maybe it feels so easy and fun for me, is that you just kind of sit down and record a live video. But there's the perfectionist tendency in me makes it challenging, because I kind of want to like have it be formatted in a certain way, and I haven't figured out what that format is quite yet. So if you've missed my Periscopes, there are a few that I plan to upload. Some that I'm going to upload here. On all the other channels, I kind of want to spread them out. I don't know when that's going to happen, because the idea of uploading videos right now is also makes me anxious. So I'm just trying to reduce the anxiety and just like go towards the things that feel easy and rewarding and happy, and just keep me balanced, because that's ultimately what's going to contribute to me doing all the great things that I want to accomplish, and that's kind of the big story here. But my point in bringing those up is that if you've been missing the videos, I'm still doing them. My computer screen just froze. What happened? No, come back. Okay, hold on. My screen, okay. The screensaver came up and I didn't know if my video was still going. Okay, anyways, if you've been missing my content in my videos, I do pretty regular content on Snapchat almost every day. Well, depends. Again, the perfectionist tendency is really getting in the way. It's very frustrating, but yes, I do Snapchat pretty frequently. You'll see a lot of Evie. You'll see food, and you'll see any really fun things that I'm doing. And then Periscope, I go through waves. I haven't done a Periscope in a little while, but for a while there, I was doing them like every day, multiple times a day. So, you can just look for Eco Vegan Gal and all of those things, and you'll find me and see what I'm up to. I'm still pretty active on social media. And that's the update. So I've missed you. I've missed this channel. I've been thinking about you and this channel, and just kind of changing the pace and changing the focus. And that's about it. So thank you for your patience. Thank you for your, I don't know what word I was going to say, but just thank you. And I hope to see you soon. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say, but I can't think of it right now. So I'm going to get going. And I'll see you sometime. Bye.